Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to my Happy Friday show. Hi everybody, thanks for being here on another beautiful Friday in Minnesota. We have some hot weather coming in this weekend, steamy, steamy, steamy. And of course, we're gonna celebrate with a refreshing drink. Now, I was going to make a long drink, which means a tall drink with a lot of ice because it's hot. And I've had this idea for a while that I wanted to make a Grape Ape cocktail because, as you know, my new ruler stickers, I was just gonna kind of scoot over here and see if I had a pack of the new ones. I named the colors after a cocktail, and one of the colors is Grape Ape. It's a very classic cocktail, very traditional. Probably every bartender at most bars will know how to make it. It's pretty much just vodka, grape juice, and Sprite, or some kind of a lemon lime soda. And so for me, that's just not gonna cut it. I would like it not so sweet. And then I kind of tested things out using different things, and a long drink just wasn't working. So mine turned into a martini. If it's not working as a long drink, my goal too is always, what about making it a martini? That means condensing the flavors, condensing the alcohol too, so you need fewer drinks. So today we have a Grape Ape martini as the drink of the day. Yay! So all you need is vodka, and instead of the lemon lime soda, I put an ounce of limoncello. It also gives you that sweetness. I put grape juice and then just a squeeze of lime juice, and you shake it all up into a glass, and there it is. And of course, I used real grape juice, so it's more red than it is purple. So I know the bar ones usually is like bright purple, and that's because of food coloring. So this is it for us today. It's very tasty. If you like Cosmos, you're gonna like this. It's a little bit on the sweeter side for me even, but it's tasty. So cheers, everybody. Happy Friday to you all. And we are live both on Facebook and YouTube, so thank you for being here. Let's check in. I've been kind of watching a little bit where you're tuning in from. Lots from all over the country. I see Canada, I see Europe, I see Iceland. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. And we have some folks over on YouTube too, Mr. Producer, right? Lots of people joining us. Thank you for being here. I know it's kind of always a busy time. We're in the midst of summer, getting close to the holiday weekend here in the US, which is going to be next weekend. But if you missed Tipsy Tuesday last week, so that was our show last Tuesday, I talked about stripologizing other people's patterns, or some of my older patterns. They came out before the Stripology rulers, because all of my patterns and books that have come out since then, I always include my rulers as illustrations in the patterns, even though I also give you instructions for using regular rulers. So what do you do when you come across a pattern that doesn't have those instructions and you really just cannot not use your Stripology rulers? You just can't go back. So I gave you a new chart to go along with all of your charts that you can use to stripologize patterns. We're talking about the 1/4 inch cuts. We're talking about the 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch cuts for the mini. We talked about the 60-degree triangle charts for the XL ruler, the half hexagons, and then we talked about the triangle sheet for doing half square triangles, 1/4 square triangles, if you're using the mini or the squared ruler or the XL. And then the new one is the chart that tells you if you have a pattern that just tells you how many squares or rectangles to cut instead of how many strips first and then to subcut. You have a chart here so that you will know how many units you will get out of each strip, full width strip, so you can just revert those calculations yourself and use that Stripology ruler and probably save about 90% of your cutting time doing it that way. So please check that out. You will find this chart under bonus charts and templates on my website. So to find that, go in the top menu bar, and sometimes, depends on what device you are on, you will have to hit that button that says more, and then you'll find bonus charts and templates. And all of those charts you can print out for free, download and print. And a lot of people were telling me that they've got their own little folder all organized in sheet protectors, the Gudrun folder. I love that idea. So we'll keep adding to it. Who knows? There might be more. So that was a good episode. So make sure you check that out. And if you're looking for a previous episode of a Tipsy Tuesday, the best way to find them is going to the website, videos, and then a subfolder there says Tipsy Tuesdays. You have all the episodes listed, including with a little description of what's in each episode. So easy to find. And of course, if you are on YouTube, you just go to, we have a Tipsy Tuesday folder, and now we have a Happy Friday folder to find episodes, and you can just look them up by date. So everything is, I've gotten a lot of good feedback from last week's show. A lot of people are working on stripologizing their whole stash. And so that's really great. So let's see who's here with us. We're not able to put stuff up on screen, right? We have, oh yeah, this is good. Oh, we have some husbands listening. That's good. He's listening from the next room. He said it doesn't sound like quilting, but more like a bar lesson. Well, hey, one comes with the other. If you're listening to me, it's all connected. Anyway, so I see lots of fun people. Hi, everybody. Great to see you guys. Already had 2 margaritas for lunch. Oh, that sounds like my kind of lunch, Lynn. I love it. That's great. So thanks everybody for being here again. We've been testing out some things this week in the business, in the shop. As I explained last time, we were going to roll out some flat rate shipping, and part of it being delivered to you by FedEx. So I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things. On our end, it's been going very well. It seems like it's more streamlined. So here's always my thought of when I make little changes in my business. First and foremost, I want it to be better for my consumers. So for you guys, I want it to be delivered safely and of course fast, but it's not always about speed. It's also about reliability. And then for us, we want it to be efficient so we can actually get the orders out on the day after they come in, which we've been able to do for the most part. And we want to be able to kind of ease up that process and make it easier on all of us. So far it's been great, even though some of you were experiencing very fast shipments with the USPS. Unfortunately, it's not always the case all over the country. And we're still using USPS. Don't get me wrong. We still use them. We still love. I love my guy that comes and picks up our mail. We're good friends, and so still use them. However, we've had some real horror stories, and just one email today. I was shipping one of the Fast and Furious family book to Florida, and my customer texted me or emailed me and said that the tracking shows that her shipment is now in Guam for some reason, and we don't know how that happened. Hopefully we'll make it back to Florida. So there's things like that. If something happens with a shipment, if it gets lost or if it gets damaged, is my policy, I always will replace it or help it. We make claims. However, USPS has never accepted our claims. So we're wanting to make all of this a better process. And so we're using FedEx for a lot of our flat rate, but you can now choose between FedEx or USPS, depending on where you are. I know if you're in a rural area, it's harder to get FedEx, but FedEx Express is doing most of our shipments, and then the bigger shipments, the rulers, the mats, they go FedEx ground, unless you choose USPS. So just wanted to give you a little update on it. For us, it's going well, and I can't wait to hear from those of you that have been getting shipments. I know I saw just a little post today that it was coming to you even faster, so that's exciting for us. So lovely things coming up, and hopefully everything will keep working smoothly and going better. So love to hear some comments on that if you have any, but it's great. Lots of people joining live for the first time. That's great. Having a get in from the heat for a little bit. If you're in Minnesota, it's kind of steamy out there, but and I've heard there is some real hot weather going on in other parts of the country as well. But I wanted to touch base back on our sew-along that's coming up in July. Still have quite some time until we get to our bag sew-along. And I got some questions. So let's just pull up the image first about the dates when we're doing this. So we're going to do this just during Tipsy Tuesdays. The first session will be July 21st. At 7 p.m. Central Time. So this is just going to be in a middle of a Tipsy Tuesday episode. And then the second one will be July 28th. I've gotten a few questions, so I wanted to clarify on like what you need. Somebody asked me if you need a Teflon foot, because a lot of people have recommended a Teflon foot when working with coated fabrics. I did not use a Teflon foot, and you do not need it. However, you do need a walking foot. You will need a walking foot because we're not just going to be sewing through the coated, we're sewing through the coated and some either foam or batting. So we do need a walking foot. And you can, if you don't have a walking foot, that's one thing you can look out for. Most machines, if they didn't come with a walking foot, you can get a generic walking foot for your machine. So just one funny story I saw on our Facebook group that somebody went out to look for a walking foot for her machine because he didn't have one, and ended up coming home with a brand new machine. So $4,000 walking foot. So of course you don't need to spend $4,000 on a walking foot. However, I'm sure that $4,000 walking foot is working amazing for you, and it's going to give you lots of lovely days in the sewing room. So if that's the case, you go, girl. You go for it, and I am a total enabler on that part. But you don't need a Teflon foot, just a walking foot. So if you have any other questions on what you need for the sew-along, let me know. I am going to be, the one thing is regarding the handles, we are going to be turning them. I'm going to show you a little trick that doesn't need any tools to turn those handles. But if you have, back in the day, I know years and years ago, I bought this set of turning tools to turn little stems and stuff, and those work well. So if you want to start digging for any kind of turning tools, you can do that. I will, like I said, I will show you a really easy method that you don't need any special tools for to turn those handles. Other than that, really no special tools needed. We obviously cannot pin through the coated fabric, but I'm going to show you a couple of options for tricks on doing working with that. And so any other questions regarding the strip-along, the sew-along for the bag? Just throw them out there. Oh, Mary's waiting for a grandbaby to be born. Oh, how exciting. I am counting down the days until I see my little Johan. He is 8 months now and was playing for the first time in his little splash pad in the yard yesterday. And it was fun to see him on video experiencing that. And I can't wait to smooch that little baby.
What's your opinion on using the coated fabric for the lining and the sew-along?
What's my opinion on using the coated fabric for the lining? So if you're going to use it both for the bottom of the bag and the lining, my only concern would be it's a little cumbersome. It's a big piece of fabric for the lining because, so it's a big piece of fabric. So it's a little cumbersome. I'm not saying you can't do it. You can probably easily do it. The only other thing I was thinking is that we are going to be using French seams on the bottom of the bottom and the corners of the sides and the corners of the bag. So the two seams that we have to do is French seams. So that means that it's going to be multi-layered. So with that coated being multi-layered, it might create some extra thickness and it might put a little strain on your machine. Those would be my only concerns. I'm totally not saying that you can't do it, but those would be my only concerns on that part. Quilts behind me are the same ones we had behind me last week during Tipsy Tuesday. So we have Dreamweaver, the green and orange one. And then on the latter is Jelly Forest, both of them made with 2.5-inch strips, both of them out of my Strip Your Stash book. And we got a shipment of Strip Your Stash books in, I think, yesterday, and I think they disappeared instantly, but we are getting more, so don't worry. And again, if you are interested in a product that says sold out on the website, if you click on it, there's an option to get notified when it's back in stock. So that has been working really well, and that's probably why that book left us as fast as it came in. But we're getting more, even more next week. Yeah, I think that shipment is coming probably Tuesday. So. Is there a cost for the bag sew along? Nope, no cost. It will be a part of our Tipsy Tuesday sew along. However, you will need the book. So the pattern is in the book, because I'm not going to be giving you the dimensions and things to cut or anything like that. I'm going to take you through and demonstrate, give you some tips on this construction. It's not going to be a full class on putting it all together, but some tips on certain parts of the construction that will be helpful. You don't need to cut your fabric first. That first one, I will show you some cuts. However, in this coming Tipsy Tuesday, because next week is going to be the last show before our sew along, because we're going to take 2 weeks off of Tipsy Tuesdays. We will have our this Friday shows, but next on Tuesday, I'm going to give you some homework. If you want to do some homework, I'm going to give you some homework.
What size needles?
What size needle to use? You can use a normal size needle. Sometimes with bags, you want to use a little bit thicker needle than what you maybe used to piece with. I, however, always use a size 12 or 80 sharp needle, and that's what I used when I made the bag, because that's what I have a lot of all the time, and I didn't even cross my mind to change it when I made it, and it was just fine. A sharp needle is always good because it punches through real easily because they're super sharp. I know expert bag makers probably use different kinds of needles if they do a lot of it. So maybe some of you could chime in, but I just use my regular sharp.
What weight thread?
The one thing that might be good is if you're going to use any kind of spray-based or anything like that, which I do recommend for the bag, is using one of those non-stick needles. So that's actually what I have right now. So there's a super non-stick needles by Smets. I actually do carry them in the store. So that they kind of, sometimes there's a little gumming up on the needle, not a whole lot with the fusibles that I use or the spray base that I use, but there's always a little bit. And that non-stick needle really goes smoothly through the coated fabric as well. And especially if you're going to be using OD coat or anything like that, that might be a good option. Is there a weight thread? I use the same weight. I always use a 50 weight cotton thread to piece it. Don't need anything more than that, because all of those seams are really well reinforced because we're doing French seam. So it's really a double seam on everything. Elaine is asking what book is the pattern in. It is in the Fast and Furious family. Oh, here it is. Producer's laughing at me. Here it is, Fast and Furious family, and it's available both as a book or an ebook. And there's 16 more projects in there, all Quilt As You Go, so it's fun. Can I make Strip Your Stash a PDF or a ebook? So I did not publish that book. That book is published by C&T, and they actually have it as an ebook. So you can probably just go on the C&T or Stash Books website and get the ebook right there. Might even be on Amazon. I'm not sure. Okay. Is chartreuse your favorite color? You seem to use it a lot, says Pat. No, you know what? My favorite color changes almost every week. So I go through phases, and I love to find colors that are, and color combinations that are not common or not basic, and just to try them. I mean, for example, lime green and orange is not common to put together. I just wanted to make that quilt, and I love how it turned out. So no, chartreuse is in no way my favorite. There's I love all the colors. I can't leave one out. There's so many. You have to play with them all.
Can you show the bag again?
Can we show the bag? Yeah. I have it right here. Here is the bag. And probably easier to show it like this. So it has the long handles on the sides, which are long enough, even with a chock full bag, I can still put it over my shoulder, and they're not too long, so me, the shorty, I can still carry it like this and it doesn't roll on the ground. But I love also when it's really full, I have these handles on the sides, so you can carry it kind of like a big tote box, or kind of like, yeah, like a big old tote too. So yeah, so do we need to see that? So here's the bottom, and opens up really. There's a lot of space in there. Yeah, there's my clip. A lot of space in there. So it really holds a lot. And it goes together pretty quick, I have to say. But you know, you all have heard from me that it's not my favorite thing to make bags. But I'm doing it for you. And I'm kind of excited to have 2 new ones to use. And probably give one away, but I love having these big bags. They're really, really useful. All right, couple of more questions.
Can we use metal feet on the bottom of the bags?
Can we use metal feet on the bottom of the bag? Metal feet. Oh yeah, just the feed dogs. Yeah, not a problem. We actually, when we do the stitching on the bag, we have the coated fabric up. So you just have the lining fabric on the bottom. So not a problem at all.
Please remind me of the name of the bag.
The name of the bag is the Grab and Go Tote. And it's just the greatest. I love it you can load it up for beach trips or picnics, going to Costco, leave it in the trunk and fill it up, quilt retreats, carrying quilts for show and tell, just everything. It's just great. You can put a child in there or a dog. I will show the French seams when we do the sew along. That just means that all the seams, I can show it kind of here in the overhead maybe, that just means there's no raw edges. So all the seams are covered. Show you here. So they're all covered. There's no raw edges. So they're all covered. So I will teach you those French seams. Easy, easy, easy. Easy and a really useful technique when you don't want raw edges showing. Okay, couple more questions. Deborah says doesn't like to do bags either, but she's excited. I like that. What were the results of the survey that led you to choose the Grab and Go bag? Well, not necessarily a survey. I just had been getting a lot of comments, a lot of people interested in this tote for a while. And since I kind of wanted to do something different, and then I kind of just got talked into it by some people. I got talked into it. And so it's all good. I love that we're all going to be making this, because I tell you that if you do it and you don't like making bags, you're going to love having this bag. And that's what I keep saying in my head. I'm going to love having these bags. I do love having these bags. So I'll go through making them. It doesn't take long. They're very, very simple to make. So Dana asking what brand of adhesive spray. 505 basing spray is my go-to. And we don't carry it. I'd recommend if you do have a local quilt shop, you can just check there, because you can't mail them regular mail because it's aerosol, so it's hard. It has all these restrictions, so that's why we don't carry them in the online store. Dana asked also, will you have more coated fabric? Unfortunately not. We totally cleared out our wholesaler of those fabrics, so we don't have any more. If you are on Facebook, go to my crew. I did start a post offering. Normally we don't like to have a whole lot of promotional posts in our group, because we want it to be more about sharing what you've been making and discussions on that. But I started a post since we were out, and there's a whole bunch of links to stores and local stores just search for in your area, and we'll have a bunch of recommendations there if you want to find some. Mary says, will both scheduled dates for the bag be necessary to watch, or are you duplicating the sew along? So all of it, it's just a Tipsy Tuesday episode, so you'll be able to watch after the fact, so don't worry about that. You'll always be able to find it. Not a problem at all. Yes, so Alicia asked the same thing. Will the sew along video be available? Yes, they will be available. Linda says, oh, I'd end up filling the bag up so full I won't be able to lift it. Well, that has happened. Believe me, I have done that. And amazingly, it held up. The handles didn't rip off or anything. They've been really, really loaded. Loaded up. So, Facebook, do we have any more questions? I think we might be getting good on that. All right. Decided to use regular fabric as it will only be... Okay. Contain my baby pup's blankets. Oh, that's cute. Yeah. So you can use regular fabrics. If it's just going to be a storage piece in your house, definitely. You can use anything. And you can make it coordinate with your, decor or whatever. Did you have another question?
Do you think regular cotton fabric will hold up?
Will regular cotton hold up? Yes, it will hold up just fine. And one person asked about just oilcloth. So the difference between coated fabric and oilcloth doesn't have the cotton back. It's kind of more like just the laminate. And I made one bag out of that. And it was a little stiffer to work with, but final result is the same as the coated fabrics. And I've made one with regular cotton fabrics, just fine. Where
are the details?
If you want to find more details on the sew along, like what you need, if you don't have the book yet, just go to my website to the blog button. There's a separate blog post now about the sew along, and all the information is found there. The dates, the times, what you will need supplies wise, and links direct into like where to find the book and all that stuff. So just check that out. That's always when we do any kind of project sew along. The blog is the place to find it all. So if you don't know where to find stuff, check that out first. And make sure you also subscribe to the newsletter, the email newsletter. We will always give you reminders how to find everything there. All right. I wanted to talk about, we have a lecture tonight. We have a scheduled lecture. We did our Tuesday lecture was Tuesday morning, and then we have one at 7 p.m. tonight. So Stripology, Mixology lecture, and very exciting. Those of you that signed up before 5 o'clock yesterday already have your link to join in on the Zoom. And then there's still room, so you can still purchase. We're closing it in half an hour though. So we closed the registration in half an hour. So those of you that have registered between 5 p.m. yesterday and then 4 p.m. today, I will email you your link before 5 o'clock. So don't worry, you will get it in time for our 6:30 check-in to the lecture. And we have, tonight is June 26th, and then we have one on Sunday at 1 p.m. And so looking forward to meeting some new people and introducing more people to my story and my Stripology, Mixology strategy in organizing my stash and what you can do with all your cut-off fun pieces. Lots of quilts to show. So check that out if you're interested. And if you've never used Zoom, what we did, if you click on just the description of the lecture in the store on the website, there are some tutorials, links to tutorials on how to use Zoom. So if you've never used it, it's easy. Don't be afraid. And don't let that deter you if you really want to take the lecture.
Someone asks, is purse feet okay?
Is a what?
Purse feet.
Purse feet. Yeah, so me being not the bag maker, I don't know what you're talking about. A special purse foot? That must be something you use for bag making. I'm sure that's probably good. I would say a walking foot is going to be critical because we're working with thick layers because we're doing everything quilt as you go. The whole bag is sewn quilt as you go. So that walking foot or dual feed foot. Some people have machines like a FOF that has that dual feed, and so those will work fine. I don't really know what a purse foot is, so sorry. I just use my regular 1/4 inch foot. for that, or just my walking foot, and I have a quarter inch marking on that. All right. All right, so Gwen says, a very knowledgeable lecture, well worth taking it. Oh, thank you, Gwen. I appreciate that. So I have some updates on some fabrics. I think everybody's always excited to know about that. But I have a little question for you guys. So as you know, I'm going to be seeing my grandbaby here soon, and me being, of course, well, Mr. Producer calls me last minute Lucy sometimes. But I just, I just want to call it that I just don't do things until I really need to do them, because there's so much other stuff that needs to get done before that. So there is a hierarchy of projects in my head. So I have these fabrics that I bought when I went to Germany this last December. We did a tour to Germany and Iceland, and went to an amazing little quilt shop in Munich. And I got these adorable fabrics. They're stretch fabrics, so they're knits. And I was gonna make little sweatpants for my grandson. And so I got these. So now it's time to really get going on this, right? I got a little over a week, so I was gonna work on this. So I have these 2 knit fabrics. And now I got this amazing, great sewing machine. And then I got this ribbing to use for like the bottoms and for the waistline. And so if you have any tips for me, because I don't have a serger, if you have any tips for me, if you've done clothing, because, you know, I've always said I don't really do clothing. I've even been known to tell my children when they've needed things hemmed, or even worse than that, they come into my room and say, Mom, my friend Daniel needs his pants hemmed. And I've just said, you know what, my sewing machine doesn't do that stitch. So here's $10 to go to the dry cleaners. They do it there. And so I would love some tips. So I know, like I said, I don't have a serger. So should I zigzag all my seams, or maybe there's a stitch on my machine that I don't know about that I need to check out. So any tips you have for me, let me know. And I am just gonna go, I think, to Target and find some pants that I will take apart for my pattern, because I haven't really seen a pattern that it's in my head. You know, when you have an idea in your head, then you're gonna try and find the pattern to follow that. That doesn't always work, especially when you're a designer. And I just have this in my head, so I just have to figure it out. But any tips are very helpful, and possibly you will see some pants shortly. Or if it was a disaster, you will not see pants anytime soon. Anyways, so some updates on fabric. We have had lots of fabric come in last week. If you watched Tipsy Tuesday, I told you we had lots in the store, and we've been kind of putting them into inventory. Some of them have disappeared just as fast. So that's great. Thank you all for that. But we still have Tahoe Ski Week. We got a second shipment of that, and we still have some of that in stock. And if you don't remember what that is the ski themed fabric that I used for one of my tailor quilts. Then we had Heartland Holiday. It was a really popular line come in, and we still have some bundles, but we have even more coming. So, and then we had Black, White, and Red Hot, that black and white really kind of graphic line come in, and so we still have some of that. And then we have some new things. I have some new things to show you, very exciting things. Should we do that first before we do our live winner? Yeah, I think we should show you some fabric first. So first off, I wanted to get some more pre-cuts. A lot of you have been asking for more pre-cuts. So I got some from Northcott, and these are the Stonehenge. I just think this is a great kind of a idea. These are called gradations. So there's a single color. So this is the graphite. So it goes from the light into light grays and into darker grays, and then into the charcoals and the black. So it's got this gradation through the whole tile. They call it tiles, but it's 10-inch squares. And so I think there are, I don't know how many different fabrics, but you have quite a few of the same one. So it's kind of cool if you wanted to work on something, kind of a gradation going on, or just one color but different shades. This color is called Midnight. So it's all these blues and with just a little specks of green and purple in it. And it's of course that Stonehenge pattern. That's kind of like a marbling granite effect. And then we have Twilight, which is more, it's blues and with more into purples and lavenders. A little bit of pink in there too. So very pretty. So we have these, and then we had one version of the charms. So I just got a few in, and if you like them, we can get more colorways. This one, the 5-inch is the Blue Planet, and I like that because it's got the kind of blues and greens, very kind of earthy, pretty colors. So these are brand new. And then we have two gorgeous lines just fresh in from Lewis and Irene. And these are both, this first one is a winter line, and it is just gorgeous. This one is called New Force Winter. So these bundles will have 15 different fabrics. So I love this one with the branches and the birds, the robins. And we have it in 3 colorways, this print. Here it is in the, it's kind of a tannish taupe, and then the blue, light blue, really lovely. Then we have these beautiful berry branches in 3 colors. So they do always, there's 15 SKUs in each line, and then 5 prints in 3 colorways. So I just kind of love that formula. And here's some more flowers, and this one comes in that taupe one and in the green as well. And then we have the deer and the hares in the red, and I just love this red. It's so nice and warm. And one question I saw, actually, oh, it has this kind of burgundy brownish too, and then there's a tone-on-tone print in the red and the blue and in that taupe as well. So really, really pretty. And I love this because it's not Christmas. It can be kind of all winter long, not connected to Christmas or a certain holiday. Just a really pretty fabric line, really lovely greens and reds. And somebody asked me how to, an easy way to pick some of the 1-yards to go with my bundles. And so the 1-yards that I have are all, most of them are basics. So they really go well with all sorts of things. But a really great rule, if you want to be sure that they coordinate, is the Lewis and Irene basics are called bumbleberries. And the bumbleberries colors always match all of their lines. And it's really, really a great match. So they will always have a winter collection of bumbleberries and then a summer collection of bumbleberries. So they will match all of their lines. And it's just a really helpful tool. So I just love this line. It's just beautiful, saturated, really beautiful artwork, and I love the textures, and the feel of their fabric is beautiful as well. Really great to sew with. So this is New Forest Winter, and then we have another line that's a Christmas line, and this one is called Christmas Trees, and it's got Santas and Christmas trees. So this print is in 3 colorways. It has the dark gray, really, really fun, and then it has the light gray, and it's so pretty. And then we have these vintage Santas. I freaking love these, guys. These are, this Santa artwork is like the Santa that my grandma had on her door every Christmas. So this one took me back totally. And then love these ornaments. So these are kind of the vintage ornaments in the 3 colorways, and the blue, and then this teal. I love a little darker teal. And then we have 2 great coordinate prints. We have the star print in 3 colors, the blue, the red, and the gray. And then this great one too, these kind of tossed Christmas icons in the light with the red and green and gray. And there's a lot of blue in that gray, so it coordinates so well with the blues. Really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful line. And like I said, all those bumbleberries, both the post box red for the dark reds and the retro red, the sage green, the navies, they all just go really well. The black, they just all go really well with Louis and Irene lines. So that's brand new. It just came in today and it's cut, and we got a lot of it. So hopefully it won't sell out today, but we can always get more if we do. But it's a beautiful line, and I just really makes me wanna sew Christmas, which is not normal because I normally don't want to sew any kind of holiday until we get closer to the holidays. But these are just making me itch to do something. So any questions on any of those? You guys are loving it. That's great. Yeah, Marcia says, I agree, those vintage Santas are something I remember from my childhood, isn't it? Isn't that true? That is so true. All right, a lot of people like the Christmas trees and love the bumbleberries. Yeah, I love the bumbleberries. They're kind of like dots, but they are layered and they have shades of light and dark. It's like a solid, but it still has a lot of texture to it. So I love those too. And I love Louis and Irene. Again, it's a UK-based company, and they're good friends of mine there. Any of the Louis and Irene available in yardage? I don't have any of those in yardage right now. No, but just the bumbleberries are available in yardage. So name of the last fabric is called Christmas Trees. That Christmas line is Christmas Trees. The first one is New Force Winter, and they're both up on the website, available right now. We're ready to ship. A lot of you love the Santas and the ornaments. Yes. So, somebody already ordered. All right, I hear you. Any other questions? We should do our winner. Who's our live winner, Mr. Producer?
Our live winner today is
Becky Wilson. Congratulations. Becky is our winner of our $25 gift card. Congrats, Becky. I will try and reach out to you, or if you see this, please send us a message or an email and we will get that card to you so you can go shopping in the store. Leslie says, when you lay the fabrics out on the table, the collection looks better than any single fabric in the collection. Love the coordination of colors and makes it a little less traditional. And that's what I love about Louis and Irene. They're very condensed. Every single line is just 15 pieces. So normally, as you know, I do my bundles in 12s, but I felt like 3 more fabrics really kind of just tie it all together. So that's why we just keep them in full collections, because they're just so, it's just a great formula for how they do things. So I love them. I love them all. I've loved most of their lines, and we've got some great ones coming too. A little sneak peek on something that I want to tell you about, and we're hoping to roll out next week if it all goes well, and that is some pre-orders on future lines that are coming in. I know that a lot of you have been asking about that, if you can reserve, or you can order something ahead of time. So we are hoping to have that all ready for you by Tuesday, Tipsy Tuesday. We're working out all the kinks. There's a lot to think about when you're considering orders that are not going to ship until a certain date and certain date. And so we want to make it real tight so we can roll it out. Elizabeth says, can you suggest one of your patterns for the new winter forest? Oh, first time I saw that, I was like, Taylor, it would be perfect, because you could twist the blocks for all the directionals. I think also Elvira would be great for both of them. A really fast, fun Christmas quilt. Algorithm would be great. Some of them you don't want to cut up too much, but then you got all those great little coordinates, so you have that mix of a big print that you don't want to cut up, and then you have all these little coordinates. So I think a Taylor would be just perfection for that. Tanya asks, are you getting more of the Cosmos in teal? It's on order, so I don't know yet. So we placed our order, and I don't know yet if we get it or not. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we can still get more. So you will be the first to know. And again, if you we left it up on the website, even though it says sold out. So if you click on it and just get notified when it comes in. I know we had some come in, and that was just because we had some stragglers and we got the extra fabric that was needed for those stragglers. So we listed a few this week and they disappeared just as fast, but we're hoping to get a full set of it again. Any ideas for the 10-inch squares? You know, do you guys remember when I talked about a fractions quilt that was the ombre fractions? That's the first thing I thought when I saw these, and I thought, how cool would that be? I also think it'd be really cool to take those 10-inch squares paired with a background and make blocks for any other quilts like Kira or Nova, and then have that gradation kind of go down the quilt and use the darker squares in the bottom and the lighter up or whatever. That would be really cool to do. Yeah, I have too many ideas and no time to do. Jan is asking again, what's the name of the green, gray, and orange? That is Dreamweaver from Strip Your Stash book. Jackie says, I'm going to miss you and Mr. Honey Producer when you're gone, but I might get caught up with some UFOs during that time. That's a great thing to do. Get all those UFOs done, because we're going to have some more fun coming your way after and we're not going to be completely gone. It's just 2 Tuesdays. The Friday in between, we're going to go live from wherever we are. So it'll be fun. Hopefully, little Johan will be joining me for a Happy Friday show. It might be a little bit off in time, but we'll figure out. It might be a little bit later on a Friday, because we're going to be heading out to West Coast time. Anne says, is the Strip Your Stash book coming back soon? Yes, it's already shipping. It's already en route. So hopefully you'll be here by Tuesday or Wednesday next week. Carolyn says, you guys deserve a break and just chill. Thank you, Carolyn. We're going to be in that RV. Yay! Some people will be driving, but he likes driving. He should not. You're not complaining about that, are you?
Huh?
No, he likes driving. He's not complaining. I'm not listening to any complaints.
No complaints.
No complaints. Yes, I am making good progress on my book. I actually finished the quilt last night that I'm so excited about. And green and white quilt behind me is Jelly Forest, also in the Strip Your Stash book. And both of those, all the strips came from my collection.
Tell them the table runner too.
The table runner is Little Diana. 1 charm pack, really quick and fun. I've made probably 6 or 7 of them because they're just fun. If you have a fun charm pack, it just always turns out good.
And what's in the stack up there? Just kidding.
Now he's messing with me. Mary says, will anybody be minding the store while I'm gone? Yes, yes, yes. We have worker bees. We may not ship every day, but we're going to try and ship every other day. So just so you know, there will be still. Amelia's asking, do you ship to Australia? Yes, we do. So for international, we talked a little bit about the shipping for domestic, which is going to be our FedEx and our USPS. For international, we offer DHL. We offer USPS. It takes a long time, just so you know. But also we offer DHL, and then UPS worldwide actually has been coming up with pretty great rates. So you can get all those rates when you're ready to check out. Unfortunately, just shipping anywhere international is not cheap. But for me, I'm used to that because all my family lives in Iceland. And so those rates that are coming up for DHL and for the UPS worldwide, which both of those deliver in a few days versus weeks, they've been coming up pretty dang good, better than anything I've seen for a really long time.
Which machine is going with you on the trip?
Mandy's asking which machine is going with me on my trip. I think I'm going to take one of my 301s. Those are usually my go-to bring-along machines. Yes, I do have a featherweight, so depending on space, I might bring that, but I love my 301s. They don't take up much more space than a featherweight, and she sews like a dream, so much faster than a featherweight, so I think I may bring that one.
Judy just signed up for
Oh, Julie signed up for the lecture. Thank you, Julie. I'll be sending you an email here once we're off the air, right after a link to join us we open up at 6:30 and lecture starts at 7. So is that it for us tonight? Today? So we will be here next week, of course. It will be our Tipsy Tuesday on June 30th at 7 p.m. And Friday we'll also be home. But of course, this coming Tuesday is our last Tipsy for a couple of weeks. You're going to really miss us, aren't you? But we'll be here Friday and every Friday. So don't worry. We'll check in every Friday. All right. Tracy says, how many quilt shops will you hit up on my journey? Well, that will all depend on what times we're in certain areas. There may be a few, especially when I get out to places I've never been before. Then there has to be a stop. So we'll see how many we can talk the driver into stopping at. But there will definitely be stops, for sure. And I'm going to be working on some pants for the Bobo. We call him Bobo.
They want to see Mr. Honey Producer.
They want to see Mr. Honey Producer?
Tell him like the Wizard of Oz. Behind the curtain.
Oh, he says that I should tell you that he's like the Wizard of Oz. He's behind the curtain, but makes everything happen. He shows himself very rarely, but he has. And so who knows? There might be some things coming up where he needs to show his face. We'll see. But that's it for us for Friday. This drink, it will knock you, but it's good. So cheers, everybody. I hope you have a great, great weekend. And I will see you this coming Tuesday, Tipsy Tuesday. I hope you'll join me.
And some of them tonight.
And some of you I'll see you in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody.